Hey, my name's Gerald, and I am Money Drunk. And on tonight's live, this is something that's brand new for me, but I'm going live today, and I'm talking about some of the experiences that I had today. You see, I had a difficult phone call, and if you have any questions, if there's anything that you'd like me to respond to, go ahead and leave me a comment, a question in the chat. I'd be happy to answer it for you. But tonight, what I'm talking about is how I actually negotiated. I had a difficult phone call, and I negotiated with my one of my utilities. And with this particular utility, I am behind with them. And yeah, I really don't know how I'm going to get current with them, but I knew I needed to do something because I knew that there was a disconnection notice out there. And okay, I'm just getting a couple of reminders here. Perfect. But what happened was I knew I was going to have a disconnection notice. And you see, I've had experience with this in the past. I know exactly what this looks like because what happened to me in the past, um this was about what, 15 months ago, somewhere around there. And what happened was my electricity got shut off. And it was one of the most humiliating moments for me. I was so embarrassed. I was sitting there in the dark and I didn't know what to do. I was panicking, I was shaking, and I, like I said, it just felt so humiliated that I would let this happen to me. I would let this happen to me. I would let this happen to my family. So I gave the company a call, the utility a call, and I found out what my options were, and there weren't very many. I needed to come up with a large sum of money, which I didn't have, and yeah, and it was really embarrassing. But I had to borrow money from a family member, not just borrow money. I had to ask for money. And I'm going to get back to that asking for money. I'm going to get back to that a little bit later because this is one of the things that I continue to struggle with. I can continue to wrestle with. So, um, I'm trying to figure out how this is going to get paid for and how I'm going to get my electricity turned back on. And what I ultimately decided to do was to call a family member, ask them to give me the money so that I could get my utilities turned on. It was several $100s that I needed right then and there in order to get it turned back on. So when I talk about my experience of of having to deal with utilities, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from direct experience. So today I had to make another difficult phone call. Like I said, I knew I had a disconnection notice. I knew I needed to do something. So I got on the phone and I talked to one of the representatives and I made a payment arrangement. Someone named Stephanie got on the line and they took a look at my account and they were willing to work with me. Stephanie was really wonderful. She was nice, calm, collected, and uh, and I really got the impression that she was there to help me. And carrying along all this embarrassment that I had, carrying along around all of these um, just horrible feelings of I'm making the same mistakes again. Hey, Gerald, you put yourself in the same mistake again. And I can't believe you've done this again. But this time was different. This time I'm being more proactive about it. And I got some information. Again, they wanted several $100s in order for me um, to uh, for the payment arrangement. They wanted a down payment of several $100s, which I do not have right now. And I got on the phone with Stephanie and we talked through it and we came to an agreement and it was so much more manageable. Now this is going to take a lot more time for me to be able to pay off. So instead of doing one lump sum right now to get most of it taken care of, it's going to be spread out over several months, and with a down payment of only $30 in order to have this payment arrangement over the next 11 months. And I just felt so relieved. And that's been my experience the past couple of times that I've had these difficult, what I thought were going to be very difficult, if not impossible situations, was that I was going to get on the phone and, like I said, with this past experience of having to pay several $100s in order to get my utilities turned back on, to get my electricity turned back on, I knew that this was going to be the case, and I knew what was going to happen, and it was terrifying all over again, reliving that terror, resentment, um, reliving all of those negative emotions. So going back to today's conversation, walking into today's conversation with that same financial anxiety, I was able to, first of all, shift my perspective, and I was able to make the phone call instead of waiting. Well, I returned the phone call today, but instead of waiting for them to call me again, maybe it was going to be too late. I don't know exactly know, but but I reached out to them and I made that phone call, and I got a very nice and warm person on the phone, and they were willing to work with me. And that was the thing that was scaring me the most. Was I was scared that they were going to force me, or they were going to make me have some sort of payment that I was never going to be able to live up to. That um, either the down payment or the monthly payment was just going to be too large for me to be able to deal with, and that was simply not the case. And over the past several phone calls that I've had with utilities and other creditors, I I I have been shocked by how willing they are to be able to work with me. So it's been my experience that as long as I'm in communication with folks, as long as I'm in communication with people, then they are much more likely to be able to want to work with me. As long as they are hearing from me, they're more likely to um, be a little bit more flexible. I don't know what their policies are exactly. I don't know what the scripts are that they're saying. So I don't have any inside information in terms of what the collections departments or the payment processing departments can and cannot do. I don't have any insight into that. But what I do know is that as long as I'm showing up and I'm being honest and I'm being um, forthright with what I can actually do today, and I'm letting them know what's going on. This is where I'm at. This is how much money I have today. This is how much money I think I'll have tomorrow. Do you want to do something today, or would you rather wait till tomorrow? And just being honest with what I can provide, that seems to out in my favor so much better, so much better. So yeah, this past this past couple of days has been really has gone a lot better than I ever imagined it would. Which brings me up to this next thing that I really want to talk about, and I'm going to be doing another video about this. I'm going to be doing another long form video about this tomorrow. At least I'm going to record it tomorrow. It'll come out in the next couple of days. But yeah, I like this idea of doing these lives at night. It's 10 o'clock here in Colorado, 10:20 to be exact, and I kind of like doing this, kind of like sharing, what catastrophe that I averted today. And like I've expressed, a lot of these catastrophes, they only exist in my mind. Yes, I had that situation 15 months ago where my electricity got shut off. So it's not exactly catastrophizing. These are situations that are very real for me because they have happened to me, but it doesn't mean that that's the way that they're going to go again. I know that in these past 15 months, it may not seem like that from the outside because there's a couple of different um, milestones that I haven't reached in terms of being solvent. I still take on new unsecured debt every month, and I'm trying to stabilize my income so that I can begin to handle that debt on a monthly basis. So, you know, I'm a work in progress, and I'm trying to get better each and every day. And one of the things that I was able to do is I was able to get this new job, and I have this new job that I'm really, really excited about. And I'll talk about that at a different time. But it's the first time that I've really been excited about a job. It's something that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time, but I never felt qualified for. And now I finally can see how I can help people. I really can clearly see how I can help a lot of people. And I'm so excited for this opportunity. But what I wanted to focus back on, and what I wanted to look back on right here, is this idea that one of the things I've been so afraid of, and I'll tell the story in the video. I won't ruin the video that I'm getting ready to produce here, but the punchline is that I'm terrified to ask for money. I I hate asking for money because if I ask you for money, either as my employer, which is totally ridiculous, or as a potential client, or as a existing client and raising my rates, asking you for money, that's going to signal to you that you know that I'm broke and that I can't take care of myself. Hence, my electricity getting turned off 15 months ago. That sort of embarrassment and humiliation, I don't want to face. I don't want to feel those feelings. So I will do everything possible in order to avoid that imagined humiliation, that imagined humiliation. And what it does is it's always made everything 100 times worse. Being without a job, being without a client, not giving my gifts because I'm too afraid to ask for the sale. I'm not only robbing myself of that money, but also I'm not able to serve the people that I'm here to serve. I'm not even giving them a chance to not only willingly pay me, but I'm not even giving them the chance to be able to experience the gifts that I have to give. And yeah, just like anybody else, I can always improve my skills. I can always get better at what I'm doing. I'm a lifelong learner, so I know that I can develop any sort of skill that I innately have. But at the same time, right here, right now, I have something to offer. I have something to give to another human being, and that is worth paying for. Just like a steel worker, their work is worth paying for. Just like a physician, their work is worth paying for. And I mean, part of me wants to do it for free. I remember I was watching this television show, and during the show, the mother says, "Don't talk about money. It's dirty." And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly how I feel," because I don't wanna expose that part of myself. And again, it goes back to not being willing to ask for the sale, not being willing to ask for money, something that terrifies me. So lately, one of the things that I've been doing is I've been asking for the sale. I've been asking for money. Not just like, "Hey, you over there, give me some money." Not like that at all. Or, "Hey, I hope this video goes viral and somehow YouTube's going to pay me a bunch of money." Not like that. Not like that. I'm not looking for someone to come and save me. But what I am doing is I am knocking on that door and I am asking for money. I am asking for the sale because, like I said, I have something worthy to offer. And sometimes I do work that I know is not my calling, but I do get to do my life's work in in that work. And at the same time, I provide a great service to people right here, right now, today. And this new job is going to be an amplification of that to be able to really hone in on the gifts that I have to give. So the more and more that I feel confident in my abilities, I feel confident in my skills, then I'm going to be able to help somebody else out. I'm going to be able to share this with someone else. I'm going to be able to ask for my worth. And I won't be as afraid to ask for the sale. I got to keep on working that muscle. I got to keep on um, getting to the no, okay? Getting to someone saying no so that I can move on to the next person who does want my help. Because not everybody wants my help. Not everybody needs my help. And that's okay. That's fine because we're all different. We all have strengths. We all have our the people that we resonate with. So even inside the gift that I have to give, that doesn't mean that everybody who needs that service is going to gravitate towards me. No, it doesn't mean that at all. But at least now I'm willing to step up to the plate. I'm willing to walk into the arena and play the game. Ask. You have not because you ask not. That describes me to a T. The more and more that I work that muscle of asking, the greater and greater my wealth is going to grow. Not just monetary wealth and not just my mental well-being, but my spiritual growth as well. Each time that I'm willing to ask is one way, one means that I can develop that relationship with a power that's greater than myself. So I've been rambling on for about 20 minutes now. I don't know if this helps anybody. I don't know if someone's going to get something from understanding that, hey, if you're having trouble with with your car payment or your water bill or the phone company or the electric company, that I've been there before. I've made those difficult conversations. I've had those difficult conversations. I've made those calls when I had to say, hey, I don't have a job right now and I don't have a dollar to give you right now. Can you give me another couple of days to make some money? Can you give me another week to make some more money? I've had those conversations before. And if you like, you can always take a look at the link down in the description where you can book a call with me and we can talk about money psychology. We can talk about the ways that stop you from doing the things that you want to be doing the things that you know you should be doing. Why aren't you doing them? I don't know. That I don't know. I can help with that. I can definitely help with that. So if you got anything out of the video, I hope that you'll hit the like button. I hope that you hit the subscribe button. I didn't have any viewers on this live, but you know what? I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to come back tomorrow and see what happens. Maybe something different will happen. Maybe I'll be able to answer someone's question. Maybe I'll be able to make a difference in someone's day. Who knows? But I'm willing to come back. I hope you're willing to come back too. My name is Gerald, and I hope you will join me on this journey as I continue to get money sober. Thanks.